Thank you, Mr. Piper. Welcome to the Winter Convocation 2019. Please join the St. Thomas More Collegiate Choir in the singing of O Canada as we open our ceremony. Thank you so much, choir. I would like to acknowledge that Justice Institute of British Columbia is located on the traditional lands of the Coast Salish Territory. In keeping with the traditional protocols, we wish to express our gratitude to the Musqueam and the Kakite nations who have ties to this territory. It is my honor to introduce Honorary of the Kakite First Nation to welcome us to the territories.
Hosiem, Hosiem, please be seated. Good afternoon, graduates, family, friends, faculty, and distinguished guests. We are on Coast Salish land. It stretches from Bella Coola, BC, down through to the United States as far as Seattle. Here in New Westminster, we are in the traditional territory of the Kakite First Nation. And on behalf of my ancestors, I raise my hands and welcome you. Kakite in our language means resting place, and we are often referred to as the river people. First, I must acknowledge and express my gratitude to the Justice Institute for honoring and respecting our culture for many, many years. The indigenization program implemented here in 2015 to ensure culturally appropriate education has resulted in more than 1,000 Indigenous students annually to benefit from the tools to provide a brighter future for our people. And the Aboriginal gathering place enhances the welcome to Indigenous students who are far from home, and it provides a safe place to gather and to study. My heartfelt thanks to the faculty and the staff at JIBC. There are approximately 200 different tribes in the province of British Columbia today. We each have our own traditional languages and customs. The drum is our heartbeat. The cedar tree is our tree of life, for it provided us with clothing, shelter, utensils, baskets, and our famous cedar hats. We celebrate rites of passage on our cycle of life with songs, dance, and feast on traditional dishes such as salmon, wild rice, corn, and of course, bannock or fry bread. An important rite of passage Relevant today is transition. Graduates, you are now at the end of your studies. Your hard work, long hours of studying, your missed social outings, cold sandwiches, extra cups of coffee to revitalize your energy, that's all behind you. You are now in transition, hopefully to gainful employment, a new location perhaps, and you will start a new and rewarding career. Whether you are a graduate of the Corrections and Community Justice Program, the Paramedics Academy, or the Emergency Management stream, I am confident that the instructors are of the highest caliber and you have been taught well, very well. Remember to thank your family and friends who have loved you and supported you through these past months, or maybe even years. Take them for a well-deserved dinner. So my heartfelt congratulations to you graduates of 2019. I raise my hands again and wish you a happy Valentine's Day. Thank you. Hajka Siem.
Mr. President, honored board members, distinguished guests, family, and most importantly, graduands, you made it. My name is Mary DeMarinis, and I'm the Registrar and Director of Student Affairs here at the Justice Institute. It is my honor to serve as your Master of Ceremonies this afternoon and welcome you to the Winter Convocation 2019. As a first order of business, I'd like to introduce the academic stage party. We are fortunate today to have Sukhvinder Virk, Chair of the JIBC Board of Governors. Just raise your hand. Seated next to him is JIBC President and CEO, Dr. Michel Tarko. Dr. Tarko will be addressing you a little later. It is also our distinguished honor to have Don Jolie join us as a special guest and honorary degree recipient. He has a number of family and friends in the audience joining him, and I'm sure we'll all get a chance to say hello to you later. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to all of his family. On stage, we also have Vice President Colleen Vaughn, JIBC Vice President of Academic. Did you wave, Colleen? Great. And also right behind her, we have the Vice President of Human Resources, John Marks. We also have representatives from our schools and offices. If you could just stand as I call your name. Dr. Stu Rattan, Dean of the School of Criminal Justice and Security. Sarah Waring, Dean of the School of Public Safety. Kathy Harms, Director of the Health Sciences Division. Kevin Skrepnik, graduating with a certificate in emergency management, who will also be our student speaker for today. And we also have Rob Chung, who you had the opportunity to meet a bit earlier today. I'd also like to welcome from the JIBC Foundation, Bernard Magnum, Chair of the Foundation Board. We especially extend a warm welcome to family and friends of the graduating students, as well as JIBC instructors and staff who are able to join us. It is also my privilege to welcome anyone who might be joining us via webcast. That's one of the wonderful things about technologies these days is your family and friends from far away can still see you walk across the stage. Not to add pressure, but they will be watching. Today's ceremony is a formal recognition of your accomplishments in one of our degrees, diplomas, or certificates and professional training programs. Training that you will apply in your professional lives going forward. I'd like to call upon Sukhvinder Virk to deliver welcoming remarks on behalf of JIBC Board of Governors.
On behalf of the Board of Governors of the Justice Institute of British Columbia, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guests, faculty, and staff, and offer congratulations to all our new graduates and their friends and family. I am honored to join you on this special day. Attending a JIBC convocation is always an uplifting occasion. It is an opportunity to commemorate and celebrate the completion of one stage of your education and the beginning of your journey to making our community a safer and more just place to live. I think it is safe to say that all our graduates are individuals who want to make a difference in the world, and that speaks very highly of you as a person. But your education does not stop today. You will learn that out there, every day is a school day. Just when you think that you've seen it all, something will amaze you, astound you, and challenge you. At those times, I encourage you to fall back on the words of your instructors and the valuable lessons you learned here at the Justice Institute. All of us assembled on the stage and those in the audience behind you, share in your pride today. Good luck with your careers. Let's give a big round of applause to all of the individuals who have worked so hard to graduate today.
Thank you, Board Chair. Earlier, I introduced our president, but it is my pleasure to ask Dr. Michelle Tarko to come forward to the podium and address the graduating class.
Thank you, Mary, and thank you, Chair of the Board of Governors, Sukhminder. I also want to thank Chief Rhonda Larrabee for welcoming us to the territory today. Distinguished colleagues, honored guests, friends and family, and JIBC graduates, it's my pleasure to be here with you to celebrate the academic and professional achievements you have accomplished here at the Justice Institute of British Columbia. Today, we celebrate the achievement of about 380 JIBC graduates and approximately 140 graduates here with us today who will cross the stage, who have successfully completed their program requirements in paramedicine, law enforcement studies, leadership, emergency management, to name a few. Convocation is a milestone that honors all of the time, energy that you have dedicated to develop the knowledge, skills, and competencies for rewarding careers in justice and public safety. It is also a valuable opportunity for all of us to come together, reflect upon the value and significance of the education that you have gained while here at the Justice Institute of British Columbia. As some of you will know, JIBC is a unique public post-secondary institution with an important mission to develop dynamic, applied public safety professionals through our applied training, education, supported by research. We are nearing the end of our celebration of our 40th anniversary. Since 1978, JIBC has had more than 295,000 individuals enroll in our courses, of which more than 40,000 have graduated from our programs, both non-credential and credential, leading to certificates, diplomas, advanced diplomas, bachelor's degrees, and more recently, graduate certificates. The JIBC was established to create a more cooperative, collaborative model of educating and training justice and public safety professionals in British Columbia and beyond. Our graduates not only serve in law enforcement, firefighting, paramedic professions, they also serve within the justice system as sheriffs, correctional officers, probation officers, family justice workers, and they also serve as emergency managers, search and rescue volunteers, and analysts who have specialized in intelligence analysis. Like many of you here today, are also out in the community every day helping individuals, families, and organizations as counselors, mediators, negotiators, leaders in various fields. At the heart of our learning model is a focus on scenario-based training. And as I watch students and recruits practice how to respond to a wide range of real-life situations and scenarios, I am constantly impressed by their dedication to service. It is that evident desire to be the one coming to the rescue of people on their absolute worst day of their lives that never fails to give me hope for the future. Each of you graduating today is a part of this growing community of professionals working together to help build safer communities and a more just society. And it's a real privilege to be here to share in your success. On that note, I would also like to recognize WorkSafe BC for their ongoing efforts in supporting injured workers to help them retrain and re-enter the labor force in meaningful ways. Many of such individuals, sponsored by WorkSafe BC, receive their training and re-entry here at the Justice Institute, and some of them may be among you today. Here at the JIBC, we will continue to value diversity and inclusion of all people from all around the world. Indeed, we strive to be in a diverse Canada with varied student body of people coming from all cultures, life stages, and walks of life, from various professional backgrounds. In the midst of our proud diversity, there is one thing I believe we all share, and that is a passion and commitment to serve our community and make a difference. Each and every day, there are examples of our graduates supporting the health, safety, and well-being of communities in British Columbia, across Canada, and around the world. In closing, I want to encourage you to serve in your respective roles with conviction, knowledge of what you have done every day, that you will do every day that makes a difference to individuals that you will help and the communities that you will support. As everyday heroes, you are integral to creating a virtuous circle where business and industry can thrive because of the work that you do in contributing to the vision of the JIBC, and that is safer communities and a more just society. Congratulations again to graduates on behalf of the Institute. Now, as you cross the stage to receive your certificates, diplomas, and degrees, it's my honor to shake your hand, and it will also be the honor of our board chair, our honorary degree recipient, Chief Rhonda Larrabee, and Vice President Academic Colleen Vaughan. As we approach the conclusion of our 40th anniversary year, it is our privilege to recognize retired Fire Chief Don Jolly for his 3 decades of multifaceted leadership and service as a first responder. In bestowing an honorary degree, the Justice Institute of British Columbia makes an explicit statement to its students and the global community about the qualities of character and accomplishments it represents. Don Jolly has exemplified dedication and leadership in serving the people of this province in the field of public safety. Mr. Jolly started his fire service career in 1990 as a volunteer firefighter, progressing up the ranks. After 10 years as fire chief of Pitt Meadows Fire and Rescue Service, he retired in December of 2018. He also worked as a paramedic for the BC Ambulance Service for 21 years, retiring as an advanced life support paramedic in 2007. Since 1991, he has been influential in the success of emergency management both in Pitt Meadows and in neighboring Maple Ridge through joint emergency programs which he helped initiate. He has been an active in helping to train other first responders at the Justice Institute, where he has served as an instructor, facilitator, mentor, evaluator, and a consultant for almost 30 years. That included being part of a team that initially designed and delivered the training program for the BC Emergency Management System, Incident Command System, as well as delivering programs for the JIBC across the country. He has served on several advisory boards at the JIBC for many years. While serving as a paramedic, he also acted as an examiner for the BC Provincial Government's Emergency Medical Assistant Licensing Branch. Mr. Jolly has been a long advocate for innovation and evidence-based decisions in public safety. That has included introducing the use of automated external defibrillators and naloxone kits by Pitt Meadows Fire Department and helping develop BC's minimum training standards for structural firefighters. He has been elected 7 times by his peers as Vice President of the First Fire Chiefs Association of BC, and his leadership roles have also included representing the Office of the Fire Commissioner for British Columbia for the provincial wildfire response in both 2017 and 2018. From a firefighter and fire chief, paramedic, emergency management leader, to the JIBC instructor roles, mentors, Mr. Jolly has served the people of British Columbia and dedicated himself to helping others in whatever way he can. In doing so, he exemplifies JIBC's vision of safer communities and a more just society. Today, on behalf of our graduates, JIBC faculty, staff, and the Board of Governors, I would like to express our gratitude to Don Jolly for his commitment to public service and for showing by example that there are many ways that one can make a difference. I now would invite Mr. Jolly to come forward. Today, we are honored to present to Don Jolly JIBC's highest award for his dedication to public service and his multifaceted leadership in serving the people of British Columbia and Canada. Governor Vert, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the College and Institutes Act, and in accordance with the recommendations of the Board of Governors at the Justice Institute of BC, I ask that you confer upon Don Jolly the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and honors here and elsewhere, therefore. Don Jolly has been hooded by our board chair, and so on behalf of the Institute, congratulations, Dr. Jolly.
It's gotta be perfect.
Thank you, President Tarko, for your very generous words. Thank you to Chief Larrabee, the Justice Institute of BC Board of Governors, the JIBC Foundation, and the families and friends of today's graduates. Special thanks to the Institute's faculty and staff and to the many professionals I owe a great deal to in making this day possible. I want to specifically recognize the support I've received from my friends and colleagues, some of whom are here today. You've enabled, mentored, encouraged, and challenged me, and you've shared in all of the highs and lows and formed the foundation of my career. And finally, to my family with me, you've inspired me in being there every step of the way. I'm very proud of each of you for what you've accomplished in your own lives, and I cannot thank you enough for sharing this special honor with me. It's very humbling to be here before you today at the close of the 40th anniversary of JIBC. This has been a thought-provoking yet meaningful speech for me to write. As I reflected on the process that led to this day and this honor, I realized that for over 33 years, the JIBC has been and continues to be a part of my life, a very integral part of my life. As a student, as an instructor, as an evaluator, and as an advisor, I've been witness to some of the very best minds in education available in British Columbia. As graduates of JIBC, we are specialists. We are driven by a common purpose to positively influence our communities and our organizations. Yet, like many of you, my training is very diverse. It has enabled me to look at a problem with a wider lens and driven me to find evidence-based solutions in non-traditional ways that challenge norms. Every one of us here began our journey for different reasons, and many of us will have experienced unexpected inspiration. In my case, my journey began after I decided to pair up two university-age needs. I loved to ski, but I needed to do it free or cheap. So I got on as a volunteer ski patroller on a local ski hill. As fate would have it, it turned out a few of my colleagues there were paramedics and firefighters. They soon saw a passion and an aptitude in me and encouraged me to explore a new career path. Since 1986, I've attended over 60 JIBC programs or courses in firefighting, paramedicine, emergency management, and others. I've taught or evaluated many, many more than that. The diversity of knowledge and experience that I gained from these opportunities has shaped my career and made this day very possible. Every day for you will bring new challenges and new opportunities. Do not take them for granted. Become a lifelong learner and become a leader and become someone your peers respect. Those desires should be what drive you every day. Most importantly, become a mentor. Enable and assist others to author a positive legacy for themselves. I have had the privilege of being able to pay forward many of the lessons I have received. I had an extraordinary mentor. His name is Dan Cameron, and I'm very pleased to have him here as my guest with me today. He transformed me from an eager neophyte into a practicing professional. Dan demonstrated to me that to excel, you had to be all in. He lived what he spoke, and I will always be grateful for that example. Ultimately, he had two simple rules for success. He enforced them relentlessly, and they've always been part of every decision I have made, and I want to tell you what they are. Rule number 1, do no further harm. What happens before we become involved cannot be undone, but what happens as a result of your actions can transform lives. Regardless of the situation, policy, or expectation, always err on the side of the person you're there to help. Rule number 2, reputation is everything. People judge you not by what you have done, but by how you did it. Reputation is built, not given. It's earned, not awarded. Never compromise your personal ethics or your professional integrity. They can't be taken from you. Only you can give them away. The professions you've chosen are hard, and they come with high expectation, but that's why they're so rewarding. Those you serve expect you to be the best, so live up to it. Serving in community safety and justice, regardless of the field, is a calling and an honorable career, but today is only part of the journey. Serve with conviction and compassion and never doubt that you will make an impact. Strive to leave a legacy of honesty, respect, and of exemplary service to your community. To be great at what you do, the mission never ends. Making a difference should not feel good, it should simply feel right. A couple of years ago, I was very fortunate to hear a truly inspirational and courageous local woman speak. She's the survivor of a horrific accident that transformed her life, and now she inspires others. Her car was struck, heavily damaged by a bad driver. She was forced off the road down an embankment and trapped in the vehicle when it started on fire. Through the heroic efforts of bystanders, first responders, and hospital staff, she survived her traumatic injuries, terrible burns over most of her body, and the loss of parts of multiple limbs. Through her very lengthy recovery, she has gained incredible personal strength against all odds. She now presents her story to others in shocking detail as a motivational speaker. Heidi Cave is her name, and she genuinely impacts and inspires anyone who hears her speak. She gives purpose to our work, yet challenges us all to do better. One specific message is shockingly simple, yet profound. As I close, I want you all to carefully listen to her words and reflect. They apply to every single one of us here today. She said, "The impact that you have on a person's life may only last a few moments to you, but it may be part of their life forever. Remember that as you catch their first glance, say your first words, or perform your first act." Thank you again to the Justice Institute of British Columbia for this amazing honor. And to the graduates, as I look in front of me today, I'm reminded that the JIBC is where difference makers graduate. Thank you very much. I got you over.
Let me be the first one to say, Honorary Dr. Dawn Jolie. Well done. And if you remember nothing about today other than what Dr. Jolie has said in his speech, and I think it was the words of someone who was here with him today, is it Mr. Cameron? I think that spoke volumes. So if you just take those two things away today, that would be quite remarkable to keep those in your back pocket. I had the opportunity to see the website for Heidi Cave, and I encourage you all to have a look. It is a wonderful reminder of why you do the work that you do. So do take a bit of time and just check her out on the website. She's quite wonderful. We take the time at each graduation ceremony to have a student address the graduating class. These remarks are representative of the transformative role that JIBC plays in each of your lives. Today, it is my pleasure to introduce Kevin Skrepnik as this year's representative. Kevin is graduating with a certificate in emergency management, which he completed his coursework for this past summer. Kevin has been a JIBC student in a number of different program areas since 2012. There's a bit of a theme here with some of our graduates. They often cross multiple of our programs. Since 2011, Kevin has worked for the BC Wildfire Service and has been the province's Chief Fire Information Officer since 2014. He has acted as one of the provincial government's lead spokespersons through the last two historic and devastating wildfire and flood events. Kevin is also a volunteer with the Kamloops Emergency Support Services team and the Provincial Emergency Radio Commission Service. He became a sessional instructor with JIBC's Emergency Management Division in November of 2018 and has already traveled BC and Alberta to teach in the same program that he is graduating from today. Kevin lives in Kamloops with his daughter Sage, who was born in the midst of the 2017 wildfire season. He is accompanied here today by his partner, Marin. We're pleased to have Kevin address the graduating class. Not of yours. Yeah.
Good afternoon. To say that it's an honor to have been asked to speak on behalf of this graduating class would be an understatement. It's an absolute privilege to be here today representing this group on a day that you've all worked so hard to arrive at. Thank you, Mr. President, governors, faculty members, staff, Indigenous leaders and elders, dignitaries, special guests, of course, to my fellow graduates. But most importantly, I'd like to thank the friends and family who have joined us here today. I say friends and family most importantly, because while we graduates have chosen the path that have brought us here today, our friends and family did not. They chose us. And in the case of family, were stuck with us. They support us today, whether they're physically here or watching online or elsewhere. They support us going forward as well, despite knowing that we have chosen fields that are intrinsically challenging, careers that often take us away from those very loved ones, jobs that are unpredictability is the norm, and where conflict is a daily reality. We have chosen to be the ones ensuring others are safe, to be the ones keeping our communities out of harm's way, and when tragedy strikes, we've chosen to be the ones that put the pieces back together, both physically and mentally. But after we've done our job, after we've done our duty, it's our friends and family who must put us back together. Our sacrifices are their sacrifices, and our successes are their successes. Regardless of what credential you leave here with today, you've already sacrificed to make it this far, and in all likelihood, your friends and family have as well. We should never lose sight of that. We've chosen service above self. That's part of what we've signed up for by being here. But we must look after ourselves, and we must look after the people that we come home to. In the middle of July 2017, I found myself in Williams Lake, a city quite literally under siege. 20,000 people had just been evacuated from the area. The only people who remained were firefighting personnel and support staff from the Wildfire Service, law enforcement officers from agencies across BC and Western Canada, Canadian Armed Forces, staff at the city and regional districts emergency operations centers, a few intrepid Tim Hortons employees, and a critical incident stress management team. Of those who remained behind, of those who stayed to keep that city safe, the vast majority of them would have been students of this institution at some point or another in their careers. I think that speaks volumes to the huge importance of the education that we've received here and are leaving with here today. Many who pursue post-secondary education do so to further themselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the people who come to this school have chosen to further their communities. The programs you have completed here, and they come in all shapes and forms, are fundamentally about helping others. So while there is sacrifice ahead for all of us, there's also immense reward. We don't have to sit on the sidelines. In a troubled world, we have been given the tools to make a difference, whether that means mediating conflict, managing disasters, maintaining law and order, responding to emergencies, or healing people in distress. These aren't easy tasks, but someone has to do them. Why us? Maybe we're a little crazy. Maybe there's a grim sense of job security in the troubled world we live in. Everyone who will walk across this stage today could have taken another path, likely an easier path. But here we are. We've made it this far. We will lead, we will succeed, and hopefully in doing so, we'll make the world a better place. I leave you today with a quote. It's not from a great thinker or politician or philosopher. It's a lyric from an Australian singer-songwriter named Courtney Barnett. It's not overly wordy. It's a simple reminder of the importance of some of the things that we've learned within these walls, things that we can sometimes take for granted. The narrator of the song has had an allergic reaction. They're riding in an ambulance to a hospital. They're chatting with the attendant in the back. And the line goes like this. The paramedic thinks I'm clever because I play guitar. I think she's clever because she stops people from dying. Thank you again. Enjoy your afternoon. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Nailed it. Nailed it. I will now ask Governor Virk and President Tarko to confer the degrees, diplomas, and certificates. Would members of the graduating class please rise?
Governor Virk, as President of the Justice Institute of British Columbia, I present to you these candidates and certify that they have successfully completed all the requirements established under the statutes of the Institute for their degrees, diplomas, and certificates. I request that you confer on the graduates who are here present today and those who are unable to be present their degrees, diplomas, certificates, and that you grant them all of the rights and privileges and challenge them to accept all the obligations and responsibilities arising therefrom.
As Chair of the Board of Governors of the Justice Institute of British Columbia, by authority of the powers vested in me, I hereby confer upon you the degrees, diplomas, and certificates to which you have demonstrated your entitlement to the satisfaction of the Board with such title, honor, duties, rights, and privileges as are proper to them. Please be seated.
Well, graduates, this is the time that you have all been waiting for. Your respective deans will read your names, and we ask that you please pause briefly at the front of the stage so that we can get a photo, and then continue across the stage to meet the board members and the president. Family and friends, we do have a professional photographer taking photos, but we also welcome you to come up and take photos of your graduate as they cross the stage. It is a formal ceremony, but we also expect a little woo woo as your graduate goes across the stage. Mr. President, Chair of the board, are you prepared to receive the graduands? All right, Darren, I'm going to ask you to do the lineup. Yeah. And I am going to call upon Kathy Harms to present the candidates for the School of Health, Community, and Social Justice.
Receiving a certificate in conflict resolution, mediation, and third-party intervention, Roxanne Bean. Receiving the same certificate, Ezra Jimenez. Also receiving a certificate in conflict resolution, mediation, third-party intervention, Chantel Ziegler. Receiving a certificate in conflict resolution negotiation, Jonathan Karmazinik. Receiving a certificate in family mediation, Pamela Rudy. Receiving a graduate certificate in complex trauma, Layla Kishi. Also receiving a graduate certificate in complex trauma, Khaleda Ibrahimi. Receiving an advanced specialty certificate in community care licensing, Georgina Kate Brown. Receiving an advanced specialty certificate in community care licensing, Norita Nath. Also receiving an advanced specialty certificate in community care licensing, Shelley Stewart. Receiving an advanced diploma in advanced care paramedicine, Timothy Lockwood. Also receiving an advanced care paramedicine advanced diploma, Scott McEwen. Receiving an advanced diploma in advanced care paramedicine, Shauna Spears. Also an advanced diploma in advanced care paramedicine, Melissa Vos. Receiving a diploma in health sciences, EMS, Andrew Hilland. The following many students will be receiving a certificate in primary care paramedicine. Amy Amira Jabari. Curtis Anderton. Douglas Asensio. Max Bibby. Dominic Brond. Linnea Brettskraut. Keith Brennan. Ocean Bruzizi. Kalinda Kaya. Melissa Claudio. Cassidy Colma. Raquel Colquhoun. Raymond Dalk. Ian DeLima. Samuel Everett. Christopher Fell. Jeremy Forbes. Allison Force. Valerie Grace Gardner. Katya Genji. Amanda Giacomaza. Calvin Hayes. Sarah Innes. Alana Jackson Druin. Colin Johnston. Jason Curvost. Brittany Kimber. Dixon LaRue. Marco Mangu. Sophie Marr. Danny Ong. Shelley Page. Crystal Pari. Carly Peterson. Alexandra Scott. Erica Senger. Olivia Smith. Kessa Stevens. Anisha Usman. Kennedy Vasquez. I'm sorry. Sharon William. Arsh Dhaliwal. Imran Hamani. Sorry, should I carry on? Okay. Sorry, receiving a certification in investigation and enforcement skills, Jillian Beatty. Receiving a certificate in investigation and enforcement skills, Bimalpreet Gruwal.
I'm going to call upon Stu Bertan to present some candidates for the School of Criminal Justice and Security.
Congratulations to all graduates from the School of Criminal Justice and Security. Yes. Okay. Certificate in Investigation and Enforcement Skills, Connor Higgins. Certificate in Investigation and Enforcement Skills, Roger Manhow. Same program, Britt Posnikoff. How are you? Bachelor of Law Enforcement Studies, Asif Hossain. Diploma in Law Enforcement Studies, Dean Almilik. Same program, Yama Aminiye. Matthew Anzolovich. Sol Bessler Spielman. Meryl Braganza. Congratulations. Kelly Cornelis. Denzel De Jesus. Brooklyn Usanio. Kevin Evans. Colton Fletcher. Alan Fedor. Cole Hahn. Brett Hanasik. Noah Hobson. Saleh Jafari. Sorry. Jatinder Kaur. Jamin Kim. Nicole Kosterman. Eric Lai. Jason Lacheminant. Ho-Jun Lee. Lisette Norena. Megan Oishi. Ashish Plaha. Tyson Kurengesser. Bailey Romaniak. Spencer Roycroft. Jenny Seo. Michael Southam. Jordan Wagner. And the last student in the Diploma in Law Enforcement Studies, Kevin Young.
I would now like to call upon Sarah Waring to present the candidates for the School of Public Safety.
Good afternoon and congratulations to our graduates. Oh, thank you. Graduating with a Bachelor of Emergency and Security Management Studies, Albert Meesters. Also graduating with a Bachelor of Emergency and Security Management Studies, Miguel Pebenito. Graduating with a Diploma in Emergency and Security Management, Jeffrey Piva. Graduating with a Certificate in Emergency Management, Corey Kortmeyer. Also with a Certificate in Emergency Management, Shane Mangle. Oh, doesn't have his card. Graduating with a Certificate in Emergency Management, Kevin Skrepnik. Certificate in Emergency Management, Jeannie Yee. With a Certificate in Emergency Management Exercise Design, Vinayak Khan. With a Certificate in Firefighting Technologies, Dylan Jansen. Certificate in Fire Officer, Steve Byford. Also with the Fire Officer Certificate, Len Coates. Fire Officer Certificate, Corey Hanley. Certificate in Fire Officer, Jorgen Ponsuyan. Punchen. And with a diploma in Fire and Safety Studies, Richard Prasad.
Here to present the Bob Hall Award is the chair of the JIBC Foundation, Bernie Magnum.
Thank you. Good afternoon and congratulations to our graduates. It's a thrill to be here to celebrate your achievements and calling to justice and public safety. My name is Bernie Magnan, and I am chair of the Justice Institute of British Columbia Foundation. For over 25 years, the JIBC Foundation has been inspiring giving for important needs that enhance education, training, student learning, and applied research at JIBC. As JIBC celebrates its 40th anniversary this year, we recognize the generosity of our donors who have funded awards and bursaries, specialized equipment, and innovative educational opportunities to help support tomorrow's justice and public safety heroes, all of you. Today, it is my honor to present the Bob Hall Memorial Award. This award was established in memory of Bob Hall, former director of the JIBC Police Academy, who passed away in 2006. Bob served in the RCMP for 25 years before retiring as a staff sergeant. The Bob Hall Memorial Award recognizes academic achievement in the Law Enforcement Studies Diploma program and is awarded to the top graduating student. I'm pleased to announce that Bailey Romanek is the recipient of the Bob Hall Memorial Award. Bailey, could you join me on stage?
That's great. So you made it through that part, so that's great. Very good, well done. So just before we conclude today's ceremony, we have the pleasure to hear again from the St. Thomas More Collegiate Choir, who will present "You Have More Friends Than You Know" and "Remember Me." Johnson, take it away.
We feel, we hear your pain, your fear, but we're here to say who you are. And you don't have to go through this on your own. You're not alone.
You have more friends than you know. Some who surround you, some you are destined to meet. You'll have more love in your life.
Don't let go, give it time. Take it slow.
Those who love you the most may need more time to grow.
It's gonna be okay. You have more friends than you know.
Be brave, be strong. You are loved, you belong. Someday soon you will see you're exactly who you're supposed to be. And you don't have to go through this on your own. You're not alone. You have more friends than you know. Some who surround you, some you are destined to meet. You'll have more love in your life. Don't let go, give it time. Take it slow. Those who love you the most may need more time to grow. It's gonna be okay. You have more friends than you know.
Be who you are. Learn to forgive.
It's not about who you love, but how you live. How you live. You have more friends than you know. Some who surround you, some you are destined to meet. You'll have more love in your life.
Don't let go, give it time. Take it slow.
Those who love you the most may need more time to grow.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Yes, it's gonna be okay. You have more friends than you know.
More friends than you know. Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me, don't let it make you cry. For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Until you're in my arms again, remember.
you so much, Johnson. As always, it's a pleasure to have you here and your team, and the sound that you can make together is really quite remarkable. And thank you so much. Individual voices in September and a choir in February. Quite remarkable. Thank you. So just before we conclude today's ceremony, it's up upon me to actually do some thanks. I want to recognize a number of people that make the ceremony possible. I want to thank Lila Orr, Lisa Middleton, Janice Klerner, Gail Makowski, and all of the people who work in the RO to make sure that your credentials are in order and that we get you all organized for today. Thank you to the communications team that does all the write-ups and the publication material. To facilities and IT who make the ceremony possible. Thank you to the cafeteria for the delightful reception that will immediately follow. To the deans and all your school reps that make it possible for us to get the information that we need. And finally, to the very many volunteers who have given up their afternoon to be part of the day. My most sincere thank you. My thanks to Johnson and his choir who are able to perform for your enjoyment. And my thanks to those of you who put in countless hours to ensure that this event is truly memorable for all that are in attendance. So graduates, you've heard a bit of a theme in all of the speakers today, that the fact is that you could not be where you are today without those around you to help you on the way. I've said my thanks, and so I think it's time that you say yours. When you processed in here, we called you graduands. Now you are graduates. The difference in the word is very slight and subtle, but it means that you, as a graduand, you are waiting to graduate, and as a graduate, obviously, you're graduated. Like I said, the difference in the word is very slight and subtle, but it does denote a journey, and this is a journey that you did not do on your own. There are people who have agreed to eat leftovers night after night so that you could study. There are people who graciously agreed to go without you to an event because you had a paper to write or a test to study for. And most importantly, there are people in your lives that have given up time with you because they believed in you and what you were doing. Graduates, it's your turn to recognize those that have made the journey possible. I'd like you to stand in your spot. All of you, stand up. Turn around, try to find those loved ones that have come with you, and join me in thanking them for their unending devotion to you. Excellent. Mr. President, Board Chair, are you prepared to release the class of Winter 2019? Perfect. I declare the ceremony officially over. Please rise as the academic procession and graduates leave the gym. Head Marshal, Mr. Piper, please lead the academic procession and graduates from the gym.